is my third year at the conference, and I've watched it grow. I came here 2 years ago when 100 gig was in its infancy, and people were talking about 100 gig, but now in the third year here, I see people talking about the deployment of 100 gig, talking about what's next. I also see a broadening of the base of people showing up. You know, I think that first year I was here, it was a smaller size show, but now I'm just amazed at how many people are showing up, the different vendors that are showing up. It's not just about the carriers and their direct suppliers, but it's about the ecosystem of supply base into the carrier community. The panel, it was about 100 gig and beyond, and we had gentlemen from the ITUT, the OIF, and the chair of the IEEE 802.3 working group come in and discuss what's happening in the standards world with moving to the next rate. A common theme that we saw is that bandwidth is growing. And you know, there were projections from the IEEE that it was doubling every 18 months. We had a gentleman come in from NTT showing that it more than doubled for, I think it was their mobile traffic, in 12 months. In addition, the costs are growing, so we've got to start looking at the next speed beyond 100 gig, because now it's not just about supporting the bandwidth, but supporting it in terms of a cost that makes sense for the carrier community as well. So I think the takeaway is next speed, it's coming. And next year I hope to come back because I do love Monte Carlo. And I expect that we will be talking about the next speed in a much more real sense of a standardization activity. In order to have an informed conversation, you really need to bring all of the stakeholders together. Let's talk about the next speed, because that's a great example. In terms of the next speed, when I've talked to the end users, the carriers, they instantly jump to terabit. They talk about, you know, we need to have a terabit solution. And I understand that, and especially when you look at the traffic that they have to deal with. However, the other aspect to that question is the technical feasibility and the economic feasibility. So by bringing in the module vendors and the component vendors, you now start to have a story that's not just about what I want, but how do I implement it, and what are the technical issues and the cost issues and the cost hurdles that I'm going to have to deal with. So it really allows for a better conversation for all the stakeholders to allow consensus building to happen, because it's not just about what someone wants, but it's about what someone can make. So someone coming to this conference is going to have, this year, in my opinion, a much broader view of the question than if it was just represented by one part of the stakeholder community. So the Ethernet Alliance and the IIR working together to bring together their stakeholders is a win-win for not just the organizations, but for the groups that they represent. And I see us moving forward to build on this relationship, because we have all of the different stakeholders that are involved in these problems, and the more a role that we can play in bringing them together to do consensus building, the better off and more timely of a response that we can help to provide the industry with.